I had a chance to sit down with Sean recently, and we discuss his journey from White Plains to Brooklyn. And although they're just around 30 miles from each other, there were a few stops along the way.
What does Ferris Avenue mean to you?
Means the most. I mean, I moved there when I was 12 years old. It was something that was amazing because I've never had that growing up as a kid. I mean, growing up as a kid in Yonkers, all you really see is drug dealers and all types of other stuff that's terrible. So it really helped me in a positive way because that's where I would say I took basketball a lot more serious and said to myself that I can play this game and make sure that I'm still doing everything within I can and staying out of trouble.
Thinking about being with your mom, paint us a picture of what some of those early years were like.
I mean, my dad, when I was younger, he wasn't around, he's incarcerated. So, I mean, me being the guy, basically, of the house at that time, I mean, I had to take more so of a bigger step, like a bigger role on what was going on. And, I mean, my mom, she was just busting her butt just to make sure that me and my brother had everything that we can possibly have. So, I mean, with her being able to see, like, from a child that I wanted to play this game, play the game of basketball, I mean, it was something huge for me because how can, in the back of my mind, how can a female see this? I mean, it was something that was really amazing for me. So my mom, she had more so of an eye for it than I did.
When did you know that basketball was your love?
I would say around 5 or 6. Allen Iverson, he really intrigued me with this whole game of basketball. Him, Kobe Bryant, and at that time, Kevin Garnett. Their intensity and everything really made me say, you know what, I want to give this game of basketball a try.
You earned your way to Cincinnati. Describe what that was like.
Coach, he came to see me, and then next minute, you know, I take a visit out to Cincinnati. On a plane ride back to Fitchburg, Massachusetts, I texted him and said, I want to come here. This is where I want to go. Got there as a freshman. Coach brought up redshirting. I'm like, no way. I'm not. You're not going to redshirt me. Not only that, I want to play. Like, no kid wants to sit out and just practice throughout the whole year. So he's like, trust me. You have to trust me, believe in me. And I'm telling you, this is a benefit for you within the next 4 years that you're here. And next minute, you know, the next year after that, coach is like, it's your turn now. It's your time to go. So Coach Cronin, he did a great job with making sure that I had all the little tools to make sure that I was doing everything right.
Take me to draft night.
That day, we get there in the city on 42nd Street, and next minute, you know, I just walked out when I seen my name wasn't being called. So I was like, why me? I mean, I was always asking myself, why me? Because I did everything right. I mean, when it came to hard work, I did it. I stayed all 4 years, graduated, did it. But my mom was like, this isn't something that you haven't been through before. I mean, you've always been counted out, and you've always been someone that made it out and through. So why is this new to you now? Just make sure you whoever doubted you, make sure you prove them wrong. And that was something that I always wanted to do ever since draft night. So I always had that chip on my shoulder, but I mean, it made it more so of a bigger chip with the fact that I didn't get drafted.
What was it like up to this point, the journey through the D-League, the switching teams? Through that grind, why did you not consider going overseas?
Well, because growing up as a kid, that wasn't my dream. I mean, I wanted to make it to the NBA. Not only that, but at this time I had a daughter. She's 5, and I didn't want to go overseas to the point where she'd be like, where's my dad at? So I'm going to keep fighting and clawing to make sure that every team in the association see who I am. And I mean, I've had several stints with people. Like, I've had Milwaukee throughout the summer league. I had Philly through the summer league. I had a 10-day with Minnesota last year. So, I mean, it's more so of the fact that, like I said, I just had to just continue to keep working until someone seen what I was doing. And that's what I did.
Kilpatrick. Bottom! Sean Kilpatrick is smoking hot. Kilpatrick. Nice touch. Kilpatrick. Oh, he's not shy. Sean Kilpatrick is lethal.
You're here, you're doing it. What was it like, some of these games, knowing your mom sitting in the crowd watching, your daughter Bailey sitting in the crowd watching? What feel and impact does that have on you, knowing everything that you've went through to get to this point?
the first home game here when I was finally on contract, I remember going through the Star Spangled Banner. And when I was going through it, I was just thinking, I was just wondering, like, what did Sean Marks see in me that everyone else didn't see? And I just remember a tear dropping. Like, all of this hard work, and now you basically found the home. You found somewhere where someone actually believes in you, and someone wants to continue to keep helping you get better to the point where you can be the best you can possibly be. So I'm going to continue to keep making sure that everyone in this building know who I am and why I play this game. And I think that's what I try to give every night. I mean, I've came from nothing. Being able to really sit here and say that, you know what, all of this is finally paying off, but everyone in that arena doesn't know my story. So I want to continue to keep showing it within my play.